What is up, everyone? Barren here, and bringing you guys the final part of the Barren storyline in the comic books. So to start us off here, we are going to be seeing that Annalisa is actually pointing her lancer right at Baird. This is kind of one of those moments where it starts off crazily, and then we kind of go back to 30 minutes ago to see how it led up to this point. We see that the locusts are going on a full rampage on the city of Ghislaine, and it seems completely hopeless. There's just too many of them. Marcus is trying to find an evac to leave, and he's asking Matron if they have any vehicles, and she seems very hesitant to tell them, and he just keeps telling her, like, tell me, do we have any vehicles to leave? We can see here that they really do need to make an evac because the entire city is completely overrun with locusts, and it's just, there's no way they're going to be able to fight through all of that. After some more arguing, Matron eventually states that yes, we do in fact have vehicles, and Marcus, tries to convince her to do an evac, but they're actually very hesitant to do this. They don't want to go back to the cog. They rather die. And Baird right here, of course, being the jerk he is, she says, we make our stand here. Becoming slaves for your soldier factory is not an option. He says, and suicide is? You bitches are completely batshit insane. And I just wanted to read that part because I just thought it was funny. Because Baird is so straightforward. He's just such an asshole. But anyways, we see that the locusts are making their pursuit, and they really need to get out of here. So they start making their way to the vehicles, and while they're doing this, they're evacuating the young children and any of the women that actually wants to go. The Celia actually does decide to go with Jace, and we see Alex stating that she'll be back. She actually takes off somewhere, and we'll see in a moment where. But now we can see in this panel here that there is just way too many locusts. It's just ridiculous. And what's going on with that one locust right there at the side of its face? That part looked kind of weird. I don't know if he's infected with lambent or if he's got damaged. I don't know. That one locust looked kind of crazy. But anyways, yeah, there's just way too many. And while they're making their escape, Marcus tells Matron, we're leaving. This is your last chance to come with us. But we see that Matron and Annalisa have decided to stay, so they make their way, and they're actually going to do something that's going to help them escape. And we can see Matron and Annalisa kind of saying their last words to each other because they know they're not going to get out of this. We cut back to Marcus and company making their escape, but we see that as they state here, Baird and Alex are nowhere to be found. So we cut back to the next panel here where we see exactly why. We see that Alex has made her way back to try to convince Matron and Annalisa to come with them. And we can see actually that Annalisa and Matron are doing something. They're setting up some bombs here to kind of blow everything to high hell. We see the argument commence here where Baird is just trying to tell them they need to go. We need to leave. We're all going to leave together. There's no reason for them to die. And now we come back to see why exactly Annalisa is pointing her lancer at Baird, because she really doesn't want to leave. She punches him in the face and holds him as a hostage for a second there. But we see that Alex has come from behind and tells her, we're going to leave and you need to drop your weapon. Annalisa has that attitude like, what, you're gonna shoot me for him, for one of them pigs? And she's like, gears aren't pigs, sister, and yeah, I'm gonna shoot you. She shoots Annalisa in her arm to stun her and hurt her so she can't fight back. We see that Annalisa still really does not want to leave. She's really reluctant to do so, and Matron basically states that she's gonna stay. No matter what, she's gonna stay, and she has to do what she has to do. So Baird finally gives up on trying to save both of them, and he takes just Annalisa, and they make their escape. As they're leaving, we can see that Alex is having her final words with Matron, and it turns out that Matron in fact actually worked at the birthing farms, as what her name suggests, which is basically a matron, someone that works at the clinic, takes care of things, pretty much like a nurse in a sense. So I'm pretty sure that's probably why they call her that, because that's what she did while she worked in the clinic. And Alex tells her, this is kind of like, it kind of made me feel a little bad, is Alex tells her, your choice, like talking about, that she's going to stay. Just remember, no matter what happened to me when I was young, you saved those kids. And Matron just stays quiet, and as Alex leaves, Matron says, yes, I just wish I could have saved you too. So kind of like saying, yeah, I did save these kids, but I wish I could have saved you from all that torture and everything that happened to her when she was a young child. And we can see, in Alex's face, she just has that really sad look because she knows that that woman's about to die. And I honestly feel like Alex doesn't blame her for everything. She was just a matron at that facility. She's not like she had any power in there. It's not like she could stop these men from raping young women and things like that. So you could tell that Matron does have, regrets, but in the end, she couldn't really do anything, and it's not her fault, in my opinion. And I know that Alex thinks that as well. Really sad. But anyways, we cut back to Baird putting Annalisa in the vehicle as they escape. And now we cut back to the final panel with Matron as we see that she's going out guns blazing against a huge horde of locusts, and the bomb that they planted goes off, which seems to have leveled the entire facility and possibly the entire city, as we can see in this panel. It's a really big bomb. It looks like probably like a nuke or something, because it looks like it took off all the buildings around it as well. And they escape, in a huge tunnel of fire here, but they're still able to get away. And now we see that they are all happy and alive, but the happiness is short-lived because we now see that the women and children have been taken somewhere that I believe is yet another birthing farm. We can see that they are all taken to a facility with a gear standing out in the front, and we can see that, even Bear doesn't want to be a jerk. He kind of has like this attitude like, alright, I'm just gonna go start up the car and not say anything. And this is the part that makes me really believe they are at yet another birthing farm, because we can see that Jace is trying to convince Decelia to come with him to be a gear to fight, and she says these words here that are kind of saddening to see. She states that she can do something that he can't, which means that, obviously having kids. And he's trying to say like, hey, it doesn't have to be over between us. I can visit you, I can see you. And she says, she has this attitude like, no, I don't want you to see me here. I don't want you to see me here in this place. And that kind of gives me the idea, like her basically saying, I don't want you to see me have all these other men's babies and things like that. So it's true, she doesn't want him to see her that way. So that's the thing that was kind of really sad and kind of dark right here, because they saved them from that place so they wouldn't be killed by the locusts, only to kind of be put back in the same situation that they were prior to everything. And the panel and the final part of the comic book, shows them walking, shows Decelia walking to the facility with the gear. And it says, thanks for being one of the good ones, she says, talking about him. And that's where the comic book ends, and it's kind of really saddening to see that they're just kind of put in that same situation. And I don't really agree with it, but I can understand why the COG would do something like that, because the human population horribly dwindled after just even E-Day. Over 25% of the planet's population was killed on the very first day of the Locust Human War. And then, fast forward 14 years later, you can just imagine how bad they really need other human lives. And the only thing that makes me wonder is this place going to be as bad as Jelaine, or was it? I kind of hope that it's just one of those things where they just have them in the camp, artificially inseminate them, and then they just have babies and that's it. And I hope that they're not raped and abused like they were at Jelaine. That's just what I really hope is happening here. But yeah, that's just a really sad ending. And so yeah, they did save the women and children, but this is how it ends, and it kind of sucks. But anyways, guys, if you guys like this video, please definitely hit that like button and subscribe, and tell me what you guys think about the Barren Story Arc. Very interesting, very dark, and very sad. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and take it easy. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see my most recent Gears of War video, hit that link on the left. If you want to see any of my other content, hit that link on the right. Thanks for watching, guys.